Hi friends, I am here with a video where I am going to show how to jack up and change engine oil for your own car. I am using a SP floor jack 3 ton, which is very suitable, or I can say more than enough for my Honda City. Um, um, it's very easy. Manufacturer Honda has provided a jack like any other manufacturer supplies the small one. That's also fine, but that takes a lot of efforts, and you get hurt. Your fingers, your fist go touches the ground, and that's sometimes shows as if it's trembling. It's not that much of strength there. So I have procured this for this purpose. Normally the mechanic shops own these kind of floor jacks. So this video at this point shows how am I jacking this up and jack up and put those floor supports. I have purchased steel supports so that it can hold my front engine area both sides. Near the door, below the door, I am placing these two steel supporters. Again, I made this video in 2x speed just because to save time. um, yeah, this is the engine. I will take engine, this the cap, engine oil cap. We need to open up, and what I'm going to do is I've not done engine flush for many years. This car is 9 years old, and this is the oil filter. I'm displaying it over here. This is a funnel kind of thing, small. The mobile one 0W40 is going to be poured into this engine. Honda doesn't add mobile one. They have their own brand. They get it in big barrels and pour it in in their workshop, and they bill you 3 liter 800 ml or 700 ml. So 100 ml is this much. So multiplied by these many mls will be the cost about 3000 rupees. The same cost I am spending on this mobile one. I purchased from outside, and it's about 2950, that is 2950 outside market price, and the filter cost me to almost 170 rupees. It's a Honda, genuine Honda filter. So let's see how do we change oil. I have set up the floor jacks, the static jacks, I can say, the supporters, I can say. I am underneath the car for the very first time. Um, Although you can go to the local mechanic who can change oil, do all these tasks what I am doing. Sometimes it looks like I'm taking pain and doing, but I enjoy doing this, and that's why I'm doing. And the mechanic might just charge 100 bucks and everything can be done. So you can see the oil level. What I am showing here is in between these two dots. So I'm going to pour in the um, engine flush, and thereafter what I'm going to do is add those engine flush into the engine flush, and run the engine for 10 to 15 minutes, then flush them out with the old oil. The engine is cleaned, it is detergent based. This is like 300 ml. You can see this the cane over there, and let's add these additive to flush the engine from the sludge and gunk, because as soon as you replace the engine, engine oil, the earlier sludge makes it completely black. So to avoid and to remove those additional flush, the additional sludge, the internal gunk, what we do is we add this engine flush, which is detergent based, and it can make the engine oil thinner, so that you can remove all of those extra unwanted sludge. This sludge anyway is unwanted, so it is there. This has to be drained out. Now I am just opening up this 300 ml additive, I can say engine flush. Sorry about the camera jerk, guys. This is my junior who is doing the camera, so this is done. Let me close the cap. Let's not too tight the cap, and I'm again checking the engine oil level. It is not required because anyway my engine oil was it ran for how many 10,000 miles, 10,000 kilometers, so it was little in the below levels. It was to the lower indication, so 300 ml is not much. What I did is now we need to go and start the engine. It's jacked up, the front side is jacked up, so just starting my car, and the time 10 minutes what written on this engine flush cane. So we will be running this in the idling state for 10 minutes. I try to display the contents over the can. I could not. This is unable to focus. So 5 minutes gone, so another 5 minutes we need to wait. There are some still photography in between. All right, now you can see the cane, and it is 10 minutes past since we started the engine in the idle state. Now
Let me switch off.
I switch off, remove the key, and gone below the car. This is the engine oil bolt. I need to remove it. I had a tough time removing it anyway, because this is the first time I am under the car, and you have less space. You are normally experimenting this, and the spanners and all those things, you don't get enough space to rotate them, and the handlebars are very small, so I started taking the larger L bar with thicker this one, what you see now. So what I did is after that I'm able to do the nut is removed now, so you can see the nut is removed, and I have placed a bucket a garbage bin, I can say, this small plastic bucket. And while removing, be careful because we kept the engine on for 10 to 15 minutes. So the oil is very hot, the engine is hot, you are below your car with this two steel supports, static supports, and see, the engine oil is pouring out. And I mean, the bolt is also gone into the bucket where I collect the old dirty engine oil. After this, we are going to remove the oil filter. So let it drain for a while. We see that it is still dripping, and this small bucket, and finally I took out the bolt from the dirty oil bucket, and I cleaned this with WD-40. The washer, the bolt, everything is cleaned now. This yoga mat I have used to go below the car, so that it helps you from all the scratches to your body, because this is a parking lot and the area is too rough. So it's not our garage, so that we make the floor a little bit softer, or I can say smoother. Now this oil collected, that is with engine flush added to it, is comparably thinner oil. And taking a video from the below is difficult, friends. You can see a lot of unfocused and unwanted pictures and movements. We need to fix this bolt back, because almost all the drop of oil with the sludges, with the gunk, the sludge and gunk, this is out. We need to now tighten the bolt. I'm going to use the L shape, because my ratchet is functioning. So in these areas you need your ratchet set, so that either you move towards the down, so that you can pull your handle. That will make that will remove the bolt, as well as that will tighten the bolt. So ratchet I advise to use in this when you do for like amateur mechanics like us. I think this video was placed twice, but anyway, this is, I have cleaned that area after placing the bolt, and I'm reusing the same bolt. In Honda's service, they change this every time the oil changes. The washer also they change. My last oil change, I did it outside from a mechanic who just charged me $100, and they normally tighten these things so hard that you struggle to remove them. So after that, this blue color oil filter need to be removed and replaced with a new one. Yeah. So I have that leather wrench for a removal of these kind of oil filters. This normally should be hand tightened, and so that you can rotate by hand, but if your hand is oily, it's very tough to remove. So wipe off those oil filter surface, I can say the perimeter or the body, then use your leather opener, the oil filter opener. So then place the dirty bucket which can take the oil in the dirty bucket from the filter area, so that the filter normally contains about 100-200 ml of oil. So in certain engines the filter is placed vertical, so you can fill that so that as soon as the engine starts, the filter normally pumps to the engine parts. The oil, new oil pumps, see, it's easily coming out. This can be removed from the bottom also, but this is easy from the top. You have a space to rotate it and remove it. I am doing it now, you can see easily, and the bucket is placed below this filter, oil filter. Yeah, I have taken it off, and yeah, I am just showing the bottom area and top area, after removal of the oil filter. Sorry for this defocused video and jerky video. I am just cleaning it off from the top side, so that this filter area, whatever extra whatever dirt is attached or stuck, will be removed. I am still unable to focus that filter base where it is where the new filter is going to be placed. So I am just opening a new filter. From the new filter, the gasket, the rubber gasket, you need to oil it so that it is not burnt and stuck for the next oil change. This is not a nightmare. So I have to open the new oil. Yeah, it's unopened one, so I have opened it, and my fingers will reach there. This is 4-liter oil. Yeah, so I have seen some people use the old oil to tighten this washer or the gasket. It doesn't matter, it's only the purpose, it should be lubricated. Sometimes we put oil near the bolts, nuts. Why? It is not making it smoother, but it is rust proof, and here in this case it should not go due to the heat, it should not go stuck, so that when you for the next oil change you have tough time to remove it. I have tightened this new filter in such a way that it is hand tightened, plus I have used this leather opener, or I can say the spanner. To some extent it is tightened well. Yeah. This is the oil, engine oil area, and with the cap open. This is the mobile one. 0W40, and we need to pour the engine oil here. The cap. While doing this cap got into the engine, so I had tough time to bring it back. So my advice is, when you open this engine oil cap, don't place it over the engine.